beginning of November. We're still tracking the tropics because hurricane season is not over yet.
No.
And I mean, in the Greek alphabet, Hurricane Eta is really making its mark.
It really is. Of course, this is going to be the strongest Greek-named storm that we've had, and this is the farthest we've gone into the names ever. So lots of records being broken by this particular hurricane. It now looks like it is very close to Category 5 status as it creeps towards the coast of Nicaragua. Let's take a look at the satellite on it right now. You can see this thing is absolutely massive. That big, thick area of cloud cover that you see around the eye is what we call the central dense overcast, and you can see how symmetrical and round and thick it is. That's indicative of a very powerful hurricane. Also very small eye. The eye, I think, is running less than 10 miles wide, so this is really what we typically see with these extremely powerful hurricanes, especially this time of year in this part of the Atlantic Basin here in the Caribbean. Hurricane hunters are out there right now. As of the last pass, pressure down to 925. The 10 o'clock advisory, the pressure was 927. It's down to 925 now. And notice the winds now at 155 miles an hour. So it would have to get up to 156 for it to be a Category 5 hurricane. We think it's very close to doing that right now. You can see that it's moving to the west-southwest at about 7 miles per hour. The track taking it eventually inland. It will weaken. And then we're going to see it turn back out into the Caribbean. And what it does after that is in question. This is going to be very interesting to watch here for the next week and a half or so. We don't need to write this thing off just yet because there are some indications we could get a drift back towards the north. And what it does after that is going to be in question. So something we're going to be watching very carefully. There are several different scenarios. It could go over into the Caribbean, or go over into the Pacific, I should say, from the Caribbean. It could remain inland and dissipate altogether, or we could see it end up being perhaps another threat to the Caribbean, perhaps Cuba, possibly, maybe even parts of the U.S. Gulf Coast here as we go into the next week and a half or so. Still way too early to call, though. But let's talk about our weather now. It's beautiful. It was a gorgeous afternoon across the area. Temperatures reaching the upper 70s, around 80. It was breezy. That nice, refreshing breeze bringing some of that lower humidity into the region. Temperatures down into the low 60s right now. Lots of 62s showing up for Northport, Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, Arcadia down to 61, 68 for Naples and Marco Island. And those winds not as strong as they were earlier, but still out of the north and northeast at about 5 to 15 miles an hour. When you wake up early tomorrow morning, of course, as you head to the polls, looks like it's going to be a bit on the cool side, but comfortable. Temperatures into the 60s. Another breezy afternoon tomorrow. Highs barely reaching 80 here for many locations. So again, really not much change expected. As you can see, the dew points have dropped well into the 30s and 40s. That's very comfortable air. That's going to be sticking around with us. The upper level weather pattern, though, this dip in the jet stream here is the reason why we're seeing this cooler weather, but that pattern will be changing back to a warmer and more humid pattern as we get towards the end of the week, and that's when I do think we'll start to see rain chances creeping back into the forecast here as early as Thursday, but certainly by Friday into the weekend. 50s and 60s overnight tonight. Look at Arcadia and Punta Gorda and Inglewood getting down to around 59. Highs tomorrow, upper 70s to around 80, so looks like a fantastic day really for the entire nation to get out and exercise your right to vote. Clear skies here for tonight. Looks like, again, those temperatures overnight dropping to around 61, highs tomorrow. Again, getting up around 80 degrees, still breezy. Northeast winds at about 15 to 25. Ingman Marine forecast seas running about 3 to 5 feet, I should say, with a northeast wind 15 to 20 knots, small craft advisory in effect. Here's your 7-day forecast. Highs around 80 for the next couple of days. And then as we get towards the end of the week, a little more humid, partly cloudy skies with chances for rain returning later in the week. Let's take a look outside right now at a Rubenstein Law live cam. You can see it is beautiful outside with clear skies, and again, those temperatures tonight falling into the 60s and 50s. So make sure you grab that sweater, guys.
Oh, watch